You ever just feel off, like you're anxious for no clear reason? You're sitting there, doing nothing stressful, maybe even scrolling your phone, and suddenly, your chest feels tight, your heart's racing, your mind is restless, like it's searching for a problem that doesn't even exist. And the worst part, you can't explain it. There's no big fight, no deadline, no obvious trigger, just this weird heaviness, like something's wrong, but you don't know what. If you've been there, or if you're there right now, I just want you to know, you're not crazy, you're not weak, and you're definitely not alone. This kind of anxiety, the kind that sneaks up out of nowhere, is actually way more common than most people talk about. You might even look fine to everyone around you. You're functioning, you're smiling, you're checking off your to-do list. But inside, it feels like you're quietly falling apart, and no one notices. The truth is, there's always a reason for how you feel, even if it's not obvious on the surface. Sometimes, your body remembers things your mind has forgotten. Sometimes, your nervous system is just stuck in survival mode, trying to protect you from threats that aren't even there anymore. So, if you're tired of feeling this way, stay with me, okay? So here's something most of us were never taught. Anxiety ain't always about the mind. A lot of the time, it's your nervous system quietly crying out for safety. And I know that might sound strange at first, but think about it. Have you ever flinched when there was no danger? Ever had your heart race when everything around you was completely normal? That's not just in your head. That's your nervous system doing exactly what it's designed to do. Protect you, even if the threat is long gone, or was never real in the first place. You see, your body has this built-in alarm system, kind of like a smoke detector. But sometimes, that smoke detector gets a little too sensitive. So, it starts going off over small things, or nothing at all. And when that happens, you feel anxious. Not because you're weak, not because there's something wrong with you, but because your system is stuck in high alert. Maybe you went through stress that never got fully processed. Maybe you were always bracing for something bad to happen. Or maybe life just never gave you a moment to breathe. Whatever the reason, here's what I want you to hear. You are not broken. You're not dramatic. You're not overreacting. You're just wired for survival. And right now, your body thinks survival is the only option. The good news, that wiring can change. Your nervous system can learn safety again. But it starts by understanding what's really happening beneath the surface. Let's talk about something most people never realize. Sometimes, anxiety doesn't come from what's happening right now. It comes from what's been happening for years. Beneath the surface, your brain has something called a default mode network. Think of it like your mind's autopilot. The background thoughts that kick in when you're not focused on anything specific. Now, here's the thing. If you've gone through a lot of stress, if you've lived in survival mode for too long, if your body never really had the chance to feel safe, then that autopilot, it starts running on fear. It's constantly scanning for danger, expecting the worst, and replaying old memories, even if you're not aware of it. This is what unprocessed trauma can do. And no, trauma doesn't always mean one huge life event. It can be subtle. A childhood where you had to stay quiet to avoid conflict. A relationship where you felt like walking on eggshells. Long-term stress that wore you down little by little. Your brain starts thinking, something bad is going to happen, even when you're safe, even when things are calm. So, you feel anxious, but you don't know why. Because it's not about the present. It's about how your brain learned to survive the past. And this is where compassion matters. You're not weak for feeling this way. You're strong for surviving what your nervous system had to carry. But now it's time to gently teach it something new. To let it know, we're not in danger anymore. So maybe you're thinking, if I'm safe now, if I've survived the worst, why do I still feel anxious? Well, here's something no one tells you. Anxiety doesn't always need a big reason to show up. Sometimes, it's the small, quiet things that trigger it, the unseen stressors that slip into your day and set your nervous system off. Without warning, it could be something as simple as too much noise, a messy room, constant notifications, scrolling social media and comparing your life, caffeine on an empty stomach, or even just not getting enough sleep. These things seem normal, right. But to a nervous system that's already on edge, they're like little pokes, not painful enough to scream for help, but just enough to wear you down, slowly. And then there's the deeper stuff, being around people who drain your energy, saying yes when you want to say no, keeping everything bottled up because you don't want to bother anyone, pretending you're fine because you're scared to be seen as weak. All of that, it builds up. And then suddenly, boom, anxiety hits you out of nowhere. But it's not nowhere, it's coming from patterns, from habits, from your body trying to carry too much for too long. So maybe, if you feel anxious without knowing why, it's not that you're broken, it's that your life has too many quiet triggers, and not enough space to breathe. When anxiety shows up, the first instinct is usually, how do I make this stop? We try to fix it, escape it, force ourselves to calm down, like flipping a switch. But here's the truth, you can't force a nervous system to relax. It doesn't respond to pressure, it responds to safety. Think about it, if a friend came to you panicking, would yelling relax help them? Of course not. What helps is presence, softness, letting them feel that they're not alone. And that's exactly how your nervous system works. It calms down when it feels heard, when it feels safe, not judged, not rushed, just held. So, how do we create that safety? It starts small. Take a slow breath, in through your nose, out through your mouth. Place a hand on your chest and say, I'm here. Go outside. Feel the ground under your feet. Let nature remind you, you're alive, not under attack. Drink water. Stretch. Hum. Rock side to side. Anything that reminds your body it's okay to soften. Even placing your phone down and being still for 30 seconds, it matters. You don't have to do it all perfectly. You don't have to feel peaceful right away. Just give your system tiny signals that you're safe now. That it doesn't have to protect you every second. Because anxiety doesn't mean you're failing. It means you need gentleness, slowness, a little more self-trust. So here we are. You've made it this far. And I just want to say this first. You're doing better than you think. Because healing anxiety isn't just about breathing exercises and calming thoughts. It's about building a life that your nervous system actually feels safe in. Not perfect, not always happy, but safe. That means saying no to things that drain your energy, even if people don't understand. Choosing people who make you feel peace, not pressure. Creating little routines that bring structure, rhythm, and comfort. Letting go of perfection, because your worth isn't in how productive you are. Listening to your body and giving it rest, food, water, movement, and learning how to sit with hard feelings without judging yourself for them. This isn't about becoming a new person. It's about coming back to who you were before the world told you to be afraid. The version of you that felt curious, calm, open-hearted, that version is still in there, underneath the tension. And little by little, breath by breath, you're learning to return to them. So, if you're feeling anxious for no clear reason, remember, it doesn't mean you're broken, it means you're human, and your body is asking for a kind of safety it maybe never had the chance to learn. Now is your chance to give it that safety. Not all at once, but moment by moment, through every small choice, every boundary, every deep breath that says, I'm here, I've got me now. Because healing doesn't always look loud or dramatic. Sometimes, it looks like simply staying and choosing not to abandon yourself.